effects, what are the effects of ozone layer depletion? For example, सबसे important because UV radiations is there, others are there, skin ailments, cancer, others human diseases, and they weaken the immune system. So with respect to human, they are very harmful. We have skin irritation, skin ailments, skin cancers are there, cataract problem is there, immunity हमारी decrease हो जाती है. Not only humans are affected, it also affects the plants. It also affects the animals. It affects the growth of the plant. Plant की life cycle change हो जाती है. There is a minimal plant growth है, and it declines the plant productivity. And ultimately, marine ecosystem is also depleted. Plankton, zooplanktons, and then it leads to global warming. So these are some of the effects of ozone depletion. So as you are aware, the ozone layer is very important, and its depletion causes these symptoms in us. Now, why we celebrate this World Ozone Day on 16 September? As is already told, this ozone day is celebrated to spread the awareness among the people about the depletion of ozone layer, and to find out the solution to preserve this ozone layer. It was in the September 16 when UNO General Assembly, they have announced the International Day of Preservation of Ozone Layer on 16th September, and it was decided on the Montreal Protocol, and this protocol was begin so that the nations sign, so that developing and both undeveloping countries, developed countries, they sign a petition that there is a decrease in the emission of these chlorofluorocarbons, volatile gases, which are harmful for the ozone. So some of the solutions for this ozone layer, why we celebrate Ozone Day, Montreal Protocol was proposed so that we can cut down the production of depleting substances. We cut down the ozone depleting substances. So as Nivedita ma'am have said, it is a duty of every individual. It's a duty of every individual to prevent the depletion of ozone layer. We should take the steps to prevent the depletion of ozone layer. We should avoid using pesticide. We should shift to natural methods. Vehicle emissions also leads to ozone depletion. So we should minimize the use of vehicle emission, and it is also one of the major cause for air pollution. And most of the cleaning products, they have ozone depletion products. So we should use eco-friendly products instead of the chemicals containing cleaning products. Maintenance of air conditioned refrigerator, as they are the main source of chlorofluorocarbons, so that because malfunctions release, we should buy those air conditioners and refrigerators with decreased release of chlorofluorocarbons. So the phase out this ozone layer is control uses of ozone depletion substances to make use, help us to protect the ozone layer for future generation. It's not for the present generation, but we have to protect this ozone for our future generation, which leads to the climate change and ultimately leads to the global warming. And again, the harmful radiations are coming out, and they are very harmful to the human beings, animals, plants, and all these things. So in this today's World Ozone Day, every one of we take the pledge to reduce the use of chlorofluorocarbons, volatile gases, vehicular emissions, which causes the depletion is the ozone layer. Now, to start with, this is all a brief account for ozone layer. As we all know, depletion occurs, which also leads to the air pollution. And why this air pollution is very important? Can anyone in the class tell me why air quality is very important? Yes, students.
Please reply.
It's not a one-way lecture, because I know you are not from the science background, but you must have studied your in 10th class some of the biology, and some of you are from the biology background also. So you know the importance of air quality. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So why air is so important? Why air is so important? Because we are surrounded by this air. If this air is polluted, again like ozone layer, if ozone is depleted, it affects human, uh, both the biotic factors, humans, birds, animals, plants. Similarly, this air quality is very important for us. Okay? And this air quality important because of rapid urbanization, industrialization. We are cutting down the trees, we are not conserving the plant, we are not conserving the ecosystem, and we are causing the pollution. And this pollution ultimately leads to emission of chlorofluorocarbons and other chemical substances, which results in overall depletion in the ozone layer, and also change in our global climate change is also one of the reasons for this air quality index. Now, we all aware कि outdoor air pollution is very important. ठीक है, हम सोचते हैं कि घर के अंदर हम रहेंगे तो we are more protected. But in today's talk, we will tell you कि indoor air pollutants are more harmful. Indoor air pollution is more harmful than the outdoor pollution. ठीक है, हम सोचते हैं हम घर से बाहर हैं, घर के अंदर हैं, we are more protected. No, the indoor pollutants and indoor air pollution is more than the outdoor air pollution. Why does the indoor air quality matter? Why it is important? It is important because most of the time we remain in our homes or in our offices, we remain in the indoor atmosphere. So according to Environmental Protection Agency, our indoor air is 12 times more polluted than the outdoor air pollution. Therefore, the indoor air pollution poses a serious threat to human health. So not only the outdoor is harmful, indoor air quality is also very harmful to us. And according to EPTA, this is 12 times more polluted than outdoor air pollution. And it ranked top 10 among the environmental risk. Why this indoor air pollution is important? Because of lack of ventilation, poor ventilation in our buildings, etc. Earlier homes were fully ventilated, idhar bhi khidki, udhar bhi khidki. Nowadays, the offices and all this, we all have an air conditions, and we have very lack of ventilation is there. And use of certain compounds, which also results in indoor air pollution. Now, in 1989, NASA discovers that the house plants can absorb the harmful toxins. So instead of buying air purifier from market, we should use the plants. Some of the house plants, some of the indoor plants, which are very important for function as indoor air polluter. They decreases the indoor air pollution. Can anyone name some house plants, indoor plants? Okay, fine. This slide shows the sources of indoor air pollutant. What are the sources? Like volatile gases, chemicals releasing from the cleansing product. They may be chlorofluorocarbons. Sometimes smoking is also, dust हो जाता है, molds है, bacteria है, carbon monoxide है, gases, etc. They all are the sources for the indoor air pollution. Even when we are doing painting at our homes, furniture, all this leads to the indoor air pollution. This table show the common air pollutants and their sources and effects are there. Formaldehyde, benzene, trichloroethylene, methylene chloride, carbon monoxide, all are harmful pollutants. And most of the symptoms they show headache, nausea, shortness of breath, sinus, sneezing, eyes, nose, throat irritation, memory loss, and if prolonged exposure to these air pollution, it leads to your death also. So these symptoms are mild symptoms, but prolonged exposure to these indoor pollution leads to even the death, and the cancer is there. And there is a disease which we called a sick building disease. This disease was reported by NASA. They found that when the astronauts are there in the sealed space station, they have certain symptoms like headache, nausea, irritation, coughing, and allergies are there. When they move out from the space stations, they are normal. So they call these symptoms as a sick building symptoms. Sometimes when newly maintained buildings you enter, there is irritation in our eyes, throat, nose, nausea, and when we move out from that particular house or a space, then there is no such symptoms are there. So these are known as sick building syndrome. Okay, and this reduces the productivity. How this reduces the productivity? Because office hours make you have headaches and nausea, your productivity decreases. Even as a student, if we have headaches and irritation and we are studying, so it will not lead to the proper concentration to study. So this results in sick building syndrome. Now, why do we need plants? Why do we need plants? Can anyone explain? Can anyone tell why plants are important?
Source of oxygen.
Yes, please.
Plants are the source of oxygen.
Very good. Plants are the source of oxygen. We call them as an air purifier, natural air purifier, because they absorb carbon dioxide and they release oxygen in the process we called as. Have you heard the word photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is very important. Okay. This is what the plant do. The plant prepare their food. In the preparation of the food, they releases oxygen. And we all know oxygen is very important. It's a life supporting gas. Without it, there is no life exist. So to preserve nature, to conserve nature, to make them pollution free, we should plant a tree. We should plant a tree, we should gift a tree. So in today's talk, we will learn about some 8 or 9 plants which you can easily multiply and you can give to your friends or you can give to anybody, which results in increasing the green cover of our earth and ultimately give us smoother and smoother life. These are some of the shows key important plants other than oxygen, other than photosynthesis. Now we know okay, medicines can be prepared. They provide us food, shelter, shade, wood, medicine, dyes, and so many products obtained from plants. So plants are very important in our life. Do you know what happens? We have learned photosynthesis, and photosynthesis occurs during the daytime. Okay? For this, we require the light. It means at night or in the evening, there is no photosynthesis occurring and no liberation of oxygen occurs. Yes, according to this, if only light is there, then only oxygen is produced. Yes, students?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Can plants produce oxygen in night?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Yes, but there are plants which emits carbon dioxide. Normally the plants emits carbon dioxide in night because when we respire, ठीक है, during respiration जैसे हम respire करते हैं, carbon dioxide आपका release हो जाता है. During plants when respire, the carbon dioxide releases. But during night, this carbon dioxide, but there are plants which we call them as a camp plant. I'm not going in detail of these metabolism. Crescellation acid metabolism plant. These plants liberate carbon dioxide, oxygen, sorry. They liberate oxygen during the night. During night, they liberate carbon dioxide, oxygen, sorry. So we can't say plants do not emit oxygen at night. Some of the plants which show CAM metabolism liberate oxygen at night, and so keeping these plants in our bedroom is a good source of oxygen. So we will learn, we will see what are those plants which liberate oxygen during the night, or liberate oxygen during the daytime, because during photosynthesis But there are some plants which liberate oxygen during the night. And these plants are very important, good source to keep in our bedrooms, etc. How do plants help in air purification? And this, instead of buying the costly air purifier, we can keep the plants in our homes. They are natural, they have low cost, and they are based on solar energy driven process. So they are eco-friendly. The use of plant-based, this change we call, the plant absorb this pollutants in the soil or water through the process called phytoremediation. Phyto means plants, remediation means उनको remediate करना. तो जो soil में या water में जो pollutants हैं, the plant absorb these pollutants through the process called phytoremediation. So the plants are very important because they phytoremediate and help in air purification. Plant also add aesthetic value. हमें जहां आप अगर हम, it's also reported if in the hospital if a patient surrounded by a plants, then its recovery is more. So this gives the aesthetic value as well as it's charm to recover more. So nature itself is a healing property. It has a healing property. So planting a tree, gifting a tree is very important for all of us. Okay. And they also add relative humidity. And because you are not from the science background, how this relative humidity increases, you heard the phenomenon transpiration. Have you heard the phenomenon transpiration? Yes or no, girls? Class? क्या होता है ट्रांसपिरेशन? ट्रांसपिरेशन होता है कि वाटर, प्लांट के लीव से वाटर वेपर बाहर आ जाना. When water vapors move out, तो हमारी जो एटमॉस्फेयर में ह्यूमिडिटी है, it increases. So this relative humidity is very important. Some of the plant they act as a humidifier. वो ट्रांसपायर ज्यादा करेंगे और हमारे एरिया को ह्यूमिडिटी कर देंगे, and which decreases the dust accumulation. ठीक है, these are the some of the properties of the plants which help in air pollution. Now, how this plant phytoremediate? What happens? इनके leaves में, the leaves as well as the soil or the root, they have microbes. ठीक है, microbes होंगे तो what happens? The pollutants they go enters into the leaf surface with the help of certain enzyme. These pollutants are ultimately converted into harmless chemicals, which either they use in their body or they will give them into the soil, release them into the soil. So their microorganisms are present, enzymes are present, which help these chemicals to break down and then to form suitable compounds which are used either by the plant or help in move into the soil. Now, according to the NASA, it's also important to know that कि these house plant, ऐसा नहीं है कि आपने घर में अब सिर्फ हम clean plants ही plants रख दे. There is a limitation कि one house plant, 1 or 2 house plant per 100 square feet of the floor surface is effective in controlling. Excessive use of everything is harmful. Even excessive use of these these indoor plants is also harmful. So there is a limitation, 1 or 2 house plant per 100 square feet you must preserve it. Then how to select a plant? हमें कैसे select करना चाहिए? जो जिनको aesthetic value भी हो, जो सुंदर भी लगे, जिनकी इनको बहुत जल्दी से grow कर जाए, ease of growing, maintenance उनकी बहुत कम हो, ठीक है, और air quality improve कर दे. तो we must select these plants so that they have the aesthetic value, जो सुंदर लगे, हम उनको, they have very less requirements, improve air quality, and they are economical also, and which are easy to multiply. This multiplication part is very important because once you go to the nursery, you buy a plant, it will cost you 200, 300, 400 bucks, or sometimes even more than that. But yes, there are some plants which you easily multiply. We can easily multiply them and you can give them to your friends or your family members also. So In this, we will study about these plants, which we call areca palm or the golden palm, snake plant, lady palm, money plants, aloe, aloe vera, weeping fig, Boston fig, and green spider plant. These plants are very common plants and mostly foliage. मैंने इसलिए foliage plants लिया because they require very less maintenance and they are always present. ठीक है, कुछ flowering plants जो air pollution को कम करते हैं, they are annual. तो आप एक सीजन में grow करोगे, दूसरे में they replace. These plants are not annually, they remain, they are perennial. हमेशा रहते हैं and then they are easy to maintain and easy to multiply. So this is first is your areca palm. Have you seen this plant, areca palm? I'm audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, fine. मुझे लगा कि connectivity issue ना हो जाए. So this is areca palm. I'm not going into detail to its botanical aspect, and which we call also, this is the most efficient air purifying plant. And this plant is an excellent humidifier. Humidifier कैसे है? आपने इसको अपने air room, drawing room में रखा. It liberates humidity, liberates water vapors, and all the dust particles, because of the presence of the water vapors, they will settle down. And it is also pet friendly. Some of the plants, they contain certain toxic substances, so we should avoid these plants. And this is pet friendly also. It does not contain any toxic plant. Okay, now how to multiply? These are very easy to multiply. You can see in this the bunches. If you can buy one areca palm from the nursery, over the year it will result in, from the suckers, many branches. You will take out this particular branch and plant it into a new pot. It will result in a new plant. So from a single plant you can form 3 to 4 plantlets, and then you can give to your friends or your family members. And they are very easy. They have very low maintenance also. And you must all know this snake plant, which we also call this a mother-in-law tongue. Why we call this plant is a mother-in-law tongue? Because they have a sword-like leaf. Because of their sharpness, we call them as a mother-in-law tongue. And we also call this as a snake plant because in their leaf, they have zigzag patterns. And this zigzag patterns, so therefore, they are known as snake plants. And again, this plant is very important as if my screen is visible. I'm audible?
Yes,
Okay. Actually, today at my place, very bad weather is there. So I thought there is no connectivity there. As we have know this snake plant, I've told about the crassul and cam metabolism. So these are one of the plants which liberate oxygen at night. So these plants are very important. You can put them in bathrooms, in your bedrooms, and they absorb benzene, xylene, harmful chemicals in terms we say. And again, these are very easy to propagate. How they can propagate? Again, there is bunch, you can take out. These are dividing rhizome. आप उनमें से एक rhizome को तोड़ के आप उसको अलग अलग pot कर सकते हैं, or you can cut the leaf surfaces and then put into the pot. And after some time, roots will appear from the base. So they are very hardy plants. They're very hardy plants, and they require very less maintenance, and they are very important. Okay, you can easily repot them. Within a one pot, many plants, 2-3 plants can be formed. Next is lady palm. As the name indicates, why we call them as a lady palm? Because you can see the leaflets. Its leaflets looks like a fingers or palm of a lady or fingers of a lady. Therefore, we call them as a lady palm. And again, this is very important. It can be put in outdoor as well as indoor landscaping. and they are important. They absorb textile dyes, ammonia, and again they can be propagated through young shoots. Okay, one pot, when multiple shoots were formed, you take out, then divide these shoots and re-put them into the another plant. Once you buy, all these plants, what you have to do, you have to once buy from the nursery, or you can gift, someone can gift you. After that, you can multiply these plants. We all know this money plant, and money plant is known as devil's wine, or we call it as money plant because it's in our belief that it will give money to us, or good conditions to us. Why we call this as a devil's wine? Because this wine, it never flowers. It never reaches maturity. You never see flowering this money plant. ठीक है? और regardless of its age, कितना भी पुराना हो जाए, never flowering is there, or this always grow. अगर वो सूख भी जाएगा, अंदर से सिर्फ आपकी छोटी सी भी stem रह जाएगी, it will start germinate, it will start growing. So therefore we call it as devil's wine. But this particular plant, make sure this contain a toxic calcium oxalate crystals, which are these calcium oxalate crystals are not pet friendly, and even if small kids is there in the house, so we should take precaution कि वो पत्ते तोड़ के मुंह में ना डाले, because they contain the calcium oxalate crystals, and they are very important in removing the volatile chemicals. So we can put them in the entry जहाँ पर heavy fumes, pollutants आ जाता है, so they are help in the air, cutting down this air pollution. And we can propagate them by stem cutting. You all know, जहाँ से भी root निकल रही है, आप उसकी stem को काट करके either you put in a water or in a soil. After some time, rooting will occur. This is all know aloe. It has many medicinal benefits. You all must know this plant because this is very common plants, and this is again very important plant in purifying the air, and it must be kept in the kitchen window कि जब formaldehyde products होते हैं, and it uses removes the volatile gases. So this again is an important air purifier plant is there. Again, you can very easily repot them. If within the one pot you have 2 to 3 this cells are there, then you can easily repot them. अलग-अलग उनको, must remember they should have this rhizome in it. Rhizome and rooting is there. आप ऐसा नहीं है कि आपने ऊपर से काटा और आप कर दोगे. It must have rhizome and then repot into the individual plant. They are very easily propagated. You can also propagate it through young shoot. जहाँ पर ये white portion आपको नजर आ रहा है कि 2 rhizome type के बन गए हैं, आप एक को कट करके you will put them into this. Next plant we called as a air plant or green spider plant. We call them as a green spider plants because their leaves, you can see how the leaves are merging out. Their leaves looks like the legs of a spider. Therefore, we call them as a spider plant, and their botanical name is Chlorophytum. They are important plants. They absorb carbon monoxide, formaldehyde, trichloroethylene, chloroform. So we should keep them in kitchens, window, bathrooms. Okay? And they can be easily propagated through offsets. Their propagation is very important. What happens when it matures? आपको एक लंबा सा डंडा दिखेगा, and within this stalk you have 2 to 3 ऐसे leaves आपको ऐसे नंबर वो आएंगे, baby spiders नजर आएंगे. ठीक है? You just pluck out, but you must take care कि उसके नीचे छोटी सी root हो. इसके नीचे छोटी सी root होगा. You just pluck it up from the plant and then repot them, and Chlorophytum plant will appear. So from the one pot, you can see how many baby spiders are arising, and when there is this rooting is there, either you put them in the water for 1-2 days so that the roots becomes longer, and then put them into the soil for repotting. This is all we know, the ficus tree, and it has very shining leaves. We call them weeping fig, and they are again very important plant, and they have CAM metabolism. Metabolism, as I told you, these plants liberate oxygen at night. So they are also very good plants to keep in our bedrooms, etc. Because during night we require oxygen. And Sensivera, that is the snake plant, and the ficus plant, they liberate oxygen during the night. So during the night, they give us fresh oxygen. And this is also very easy to propagate. A mature twig, you can see, इनकी roots निकल आती है, roots arises from the stem. You just cut the twig, which has 1 or 2 roots, and then re-put into the soil. So from the single, there is a timing. This timing, the cuttings are done. October, September, October, May. So you just make sure that it has a 1 or 2 roots are there. Without roots, no, it will not propagate. Then this is, all these plants are very tough plants. They require little care. But this Boston fern plant, out of the other fern plant, this fern plant this requires little bit of caring, and it again is very important. It's look very good. All the plants give an aesthetic value. The carbon dioxide, xylene, etc. And they can also easily propagate it from the parent fern. आप अगर जब उसको रीपूट करते हो, आपने पूरे soil निकाला, many plants are arising, and see, one runner is there. So you just cut this from this portion, and then you can, in all the plants you must have the root or the rhizome, and then re-put into the another plant. This again leads to, from the single pot you are making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pots, and ultimately increasing the number of plants. This is again the Chinese evergreen plant. This is which we called as a common name Aglaonimas. Botanical is also Aglaonema, and they are very important, and these are the toughest plant for, and important for their beautiful. And again, they eliminate carbon monoxide, formaldehyde, trichlorocarbons, and more. So they are also easy to propagate. What's the method of their propagation? You must cut. You can see this cane-like structure, गन्ने के जैसे. So you must have a node. एक node से आप cut कर दोगे tip को, and from this tip you put this. Tip में अलग से grow कर जाएगा, और आपकी जो ये cut end से है, ये आप अलग से reput कर सकते हो. यहाँ से भी आपको plantlets मिल गए, जो आपने tip नीचे जो grow किया, उसमें भी leaves निकल के आ गई है. So again, from this single plant, we can propagate many plants. Similarly, this is Aglaonimas, lipstick palm we call, and you can take out these separate out these branches, shoots, and then re-put them into another branches. So what is the conclusion for all these things? Because today is the ozone day, and we must, one of the pledge that we must reduce this usage of chlorofluorocarbons, volatile gases, and also the second pledge we can take, that we must plant a tree. And we all aware, planting a tree, it protects our ecosystem, it protects our, we should conserve our ecosystem. So planting a tree is very important. So in this, we should plant a tree, we should gift a tree from single, or sometimes we are not in position to give everyone $500 of a gift, but if you multiply at your homes and then propagate at your home from a single plant, you can multiply 3 to 4 in one season. So in one season, you can give these 4 plants to your friends or your relatives. So we should plant a tree, and it will also affect both our health and the environment. And it will protect, planting a tree, protect our present and future generations both. We should now think of indoor air pollution also, because we all aware of the outdoor air pollution. Within the last 4 or 5 years, we are coming about the source of indoor air quality. The indoor air pollution also very harmful to us. Okay? And when we select a plant, to make sure it not only give an aesthetic value, but it has a phytoremediation value too. It has a phytoremediation value too. It must have the property to absorb your pollutants. And every individual, we need to do his or her part as a whole. So this is the one thing we should take a pledge in today's day. We should, every individual has its role. Every individual has its carbon footprints. So we must reduce the usage, or we must reduce individuals' carbon footprint. When we reduce this, ultimately we protect our environment, and when the environment is protected or conserved, we are protected. Our both biotic and abiotic factors are protected. Otherwise, we are harming the environment, and in turn, environment is harming on us. And coronavirus is one of the live example for this. Okay? And we should propagate and gift a long living plant that symbolizes the happiness and help in increasing the green cover of the earth system. So this is all about your conclusion. This is the indoor plants where we kept them to clean our air. These are some other plants, flowering plants. If you want to plant a seasonal plants or a flowering plant, then you go for gerbera, go for geranium. So it will also give a beautiful feeling to our house or our offices or homes, etc. So thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. You gave a useful information regarding Ozone Day, and very good presentation you have shared. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. There were many things we weren't aware of the ozone. Say, I thought I knew about everything about ozone, but no, there were a lot of things we didn't know about the day and ozone layer. So thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nivedita ma'am. Thank you again, Renu ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, students.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sania madam,
Yes, ma'am.
before we leave, I just wanted to show a video clip to the student. It's just a 3 minutes of video which tells the success story of ozone depletion. This is a
Yes.
great story for all of us to understand that how actually we can really work together to fight the various global problems. So I
Please.
just wanted to show one very beautiful video which is there. I mean, it is on the this thing website of National Geographic. So and then there is another video which is available on the United Nations Organization website, and it's a very beautiful video, and it's so inspiring that it really shows that if at all we are working coherently, thinking that yes, this is one thing which we are looking for, then we can really do wonders. And this is the particular process is the success story of uh, our fight against ozone. So it's just a small clip, and it's a beautiful representation. It's a story that how we have started and how we really conquered So it was a very small clip, but it's the message is very clear that we all need to work together to fight to the various problems. Uh, Unfortunately, what we have studied that it's just the ozone. No, it's not only ozone. It is the greenhouse gases that too also are creating problem. Because of these gases, the air circulation is under problem, and because of this air circulation problem, we are having this ozone hole to the in the Antarctica. So it's not very simple that the gentleman said that we all need to supposed to work together it, because we have only one battle of reducing the usage of CFC, but there are so many things because whatever we have done as of now, whatever the amount of chemicals which have released in the atmosphere, mind it that these greenhouse gases and these chlorofluorocarbons, they do not decay. They take almost trillions of years to get decayed. So there, I mean, we have released in a huge amount in the atmosphere, and that is why this is a time where we are supposed to stop using these chemicals, cutting our demand, putting pressure on our planet, so that we can reverse it to the situation where my life, our life, and the life which is here, the beautiful color of this planet is reserved. So this is the message of today's session, that why we are celebrating it. We are celebrating for the success, and we are celebrating to take more actions to make beautiful success in our fight against the global environmental problem. That's all. Thank you so much, madam. Thank you so much.